Hi, Aaron McLaughlin here. Just thought I'd have a little video about anxiety. There's a lot of anxiety out there at the moment, and the more people I talk about and help with anxiety, the more I realise that no one really knows how it works. And how it works is actually really simple, and when we understand how anxiety works, we can kind of get a sense of why we're doing it. Fundamentally, anxiety is has a future-based strategy built around it. So what anxiety is contemplating a real or imagined event happening in the future, and then diving into it in our imagination and experiencing some aspect of it. And generally, to do anxiety really well, we do that in first person, and we imagine being there, and we imagine it going kind of really bad. So the thing about anxiety is it's always about the future. So you can't feel anxious about something that's happened. You can feel depressed about something that's happened because the thing that's happened is in the past, and that's where depression lives. Well, for me, back there, my future's kind of out that way. So if I was going to think about something to get depressed about, if I wanted to, I'd look in that direction into my past and start feeling really down about it or something like that. So, depression is once again a strategy. It's about something in the past that is generally not resolved or is still active in its original state, and when we think back to it, we associate back into it, and we don't really have anything but a default position of the actual event to flip back into. And so that's why it stays kind of alive and can be easily triggered by similar things happening in the present. Anxiety, however, can be based on things that have happened in the past, i.e. had a bad experience in a car and had another one, and part of me goes, well, I just don't want that to ever happen again because it's horrible. So I go into a heightened state of caution. And so that heightened state of caution means when I get in the car, I still feel a bit nervous, and I drive down the road, I'm looking really intensely around to make sure that this thing won't happen. Again, the thing that happened in the past. So fundamentally, anxiety is actually got a really good design. It's designed. Well, anxiety doesn't exist. It's a word that defines a very high level of caution. And as a beast, a spirit being in a meat sack that potentially used to be chased and hunted down by all manner of things, caution was a good idea. If you hear a lion roaring in the bush, a little bit of caution is a good thing. And so, but we're not kind of living that life anymore, but we still have that, almost like that ancient reptilian thing going on right in the centre of the brain. And all it is it's part of our survival mechanism. So anxiety is really where even just thinking about getting into the car, I start to imagine scenarios. Now, if I do that once or twice, it becomes a pattern. So all I need to do is think about getting into the car, and I'm already pumping out the mental images around, I'm in the car and I'm going to get hit again, it's coming from all directions, I don't know what to do, and then that anxiety means I just might not get into a car. Now, generalized anxiety is where suddenly it's not just cars, it's like there's a bus out there and it's going really fast. I've worked with people who've got generalized to travel in general. Won't even think about the potential of travelling anywhere because of an experience they had that has become heightened degree of caution and then out of control anxiety. So it's about the future. It's about something happening in the future. I'm getting my little pen and paper so I can draw you a picture. So the trick is, and this is the fun part, and you need to practice it with just really simple stuff, day-to-day stuff. So here's an example. Today I'm going to brush my teeth at the end of the day. I'm going to brush my teeth. I'm going to, a non-fluoride actually, but apparently there's nothing wrong with fluoride. Anyway, so I'm going to brush my teeth, and I can picture myself a minute after brushing my teeth, looking in the mirror, smiling, because it's done. Now, I also know tomorrow I'm going to get in my car and drive somewhere. I don't know exactly where, but I know I'm going to drive somewhere. Maybe an appointment, maybe to go to the library, something like that. Now, I can picture myself having gotten out of the car at my destination. I can see myself quite clear, just standing with my hands on my hips, smiling, going, with clean teeth, by the way, smiling because I'm there. The drive is done. Now, here's the thing. As soon as you do that in your brain, your reptilian brain goes, oh, so we're going to make it. We're going to survive. Yeah. Right, cool. And it'll start to drop the anxiety levels. So if you start to do it with things that you know you're going to do, that are pretty mundane, like, later on today I'm going to have dinner. It's going to be great, actually. My wife makes beautiful meals. And I can picture myself 5 minutes afterwards just picking up and taking them to the dishes to the sink, and I can see myself smiling because dinner is done. Now, the really important thing here is dinner is done. The trip to the library, supermarket, whatever, is done. The teeth is done. It's not, I survived, reached my goals, and I'm just such an amazing person. We can talk about that bullshit in another video. But fundamentally, it's none of that. It's like, it's done. Done. Full stop. End. So the brain goes, great. Because if we throw in, was it amazing? The anxiety is just going to go through the roof. It's nothing to do with how well you did it or how poorly you do it. It's to do with whether you survive or not. Now, if you make that picture of having arrived at the gym or at the library, wherever it is, supermarket, car park, and you can see yourself having arrived, standing by the side of the car, and you make that picture a little bit larger than life. So you make it just a little bit light, and you make it sparkle, and you make it kind of a little bit more colourful, and then you bring in a celestial choir. Oh! Like that. So a celestial choir, nailing it. So your unconscious mind goes, oh, well, no, we really do make it. You've got to have fun with this, or else it drives you mad. So anxiety is all... I was drawing you a picture. So anxiety is about sometime in the future. We're in the present now. So this is the event. I'm writing this and you can't see. It's kind of like doing a really bad interview on a radio where they're talking about something they're doing, but anyway. So we see ourselves, you'll see this in a minute, standing, smiling. And it's smiling because it's done. It's almost like ticked on the list. So I hope you can see that. Now, event, go beyond the event. That's me there, smiling because it's done. Aaron McLaughlin, been doing this since 1996. Hope it's useful. Catch you later.